Halo Series 1, Episode 1, titled Contact. Of course, this is the beginning of the brand new show that is on exclusively on PowerNet Plus, and is based on the Xbox's exclusive and the flagship title video game of the same name that has been in development hell for years. Back in 2007, Peter Jackson announced that he was going to produce a Halo movie that was going to be directed by this unknown director at the time, Neil Blomkamp, who directed Distant 9, who did Elysium, who did Chappie. And then in 2014 at the E3 press conference, Steven Spielberg said, hey, we're making a Halo TV show, but that went nowhere. We're like, Steven, where's our Halo show? What's going on? What's going on? So, understandably so, with all this false hope, all the stuff that they're saying, hey, it's still happening, it's still happening, it's still happening, fans and people who know about Halo are like, we'll wait when we see it. Sure there's going to be a Halo show, and now we're here. Took about 13 years, but we're here. Here's a live-action Halo series. Yes, I know there's been a couple web series stuff, but let's be honest, a movie and a TV show has a little bit more prestige aspect towards it, and now we're here with the Halo TV show. And I will say this, that normally that the moment I finish an episode of a show, I immediately start going on the laptop and start pressing record. But with this episode and the beginning of this show, watching it, I had to kind of sit on it. I had to kind of meditate my thoughts. Was I oppressed? Was I not? I just didn't know what to think about it. And to the point, I rewatched the episode again. And my experience with it is that I just found this episode not that appealing, really. Because nothing really happens, or stuff happens, but they don't really show it. You have this relationship between a father and a daughter, and they are meant to have us have this emotional thing of, hey, oh my god, her father just got killed by the Covenant, who are the bad guys. And we're meant to have this emotional hook, but because we don't have a scene before everything goes shipwreck, we don't see a scene with those two characters to have us have that emotional connection. We get told about the Spartans and what they are, what they do, and the whole thing, but it would be probably better for us to see the Spartans and then you give us the information there. There's certain things in this episode that I felt could be easily cut for pace reasons, that could easily be and have other scenes place other scenes. But then you have the big action sequence, which I will say is fine. It's a fine action sequence. The Covenant, the CGI is a bit wonky. Sometimes when they leap over things, they're kind of very too quick. The free frames of the animation is way too quick of CG. But, it's a TV show. You're not going to expect the highest thing. Not everything needs to be The Mandalorian. Not every... I think sometimes Disney Plus spoils us what a TV show CGI looks like, right? And I think with Halo, that kind of reminds us that not everything has the same quality or the same amount of budget as, say, a Mandalorian or a Marvel Disney Plus show. But the action sequence was fine. It was seeing Master Chief. It was ticking all the Halo boxes and all that kind of stuff. The first person view I felt was a little bit eye-wally. I get it, that's meant to be an Easter egg, but it just felt a little bit too Doom for me a little bit. And then we have one of the things that I'm quite intrigued about is this Indiana Jones aspect of things, this kind of advice that is attached to, that kind of draws the entire story, or say the beginning of the story for this show, for this season, because if you don't know, this show is getting a second season. And I was intrigued by that, and them taking and kind of teasing about Master Chief's origin story, because what my understanding from the games is that Master Chief is a character who doesn't really have much of an origin story. He's not that well-pairing of a character. He just looks and sounds cool, and that's how he's like a icon for Xbox and an icon of video games. I mean, he looks cool. He looks cool in the motion in live action. He always has. Because I remember watching, Falling on the Dawn, and I'm like, that suit's really good. And obviously, you're able to move around as freely as you could. Anyway. But they're going to adapt into Master Chief's background, his origin story. And for me, that is intriguing. This artifact is intriguing. The villain that, with the Covenant and this kind of society, I found that intriguing. And this human person, the human bad guy, she sounds to be interesting as well, and quite intrigued by that. But everything else just felt just not that appealing to me. Like, because most of this episode is Master Chief just like looking at the artifact and just contemplating. And then you have Dr. Palsy, who's in the station. And you got the generals going, things is not going to plan. You're not doing what we are. And I'm like, it felt, you know what? It probably is this. It just felt generic. And I'm not that person where everything needs to break ground. Like, everything needs to be new and different. It's all, like, what do they say? There's, like, 7 stories out there. It's all about how you tell this version of your story, of that story. And the military thing, it just felt like, yeah, I have seen better. And it's just not... And like, Master Chief does something at the end that is meant to hook us to the next episode, and I felt that was very just whiplashy a little bit. I wanted to like this show, knowing how much of the development hell aspect of things, but I just, hopefully episode 2, like, I am going to cover the remaining 9 episodes. We'll see with season 2, but if I like season 1, but yeah, it's just, yeah, I'm not digging the show so far, and maybe hopefully when we are out of the setup or setting up of the basically introducing the character thing, and now the story can actually start, we can kind of have better episodes and a better intriguing story. And you never know. Maybe I watch all 10 episodes and be like, oh, that could be cut out. Or meh. You know, hey, this season could be a movie. I think it'll be better as a film. Like, you never know. But hopefully when you hear the Halo theme every time that you click a video of mine when it comes to Halo, I'm saying good things, not bad things. And hopefully that's the case with the